What's up guys, my name is Allie and I'm the proud mama of a 5-month-old baby boy named Lincoln. I'm a first-time mama, a first-time nursing mama, a first-time pumping mama, so I've had to figure out some tips and tricks. Here with me I have my trusty bag of pumping supplies, so as I dig through and show you what's inside, I'll share some insider hacks along the way from someone who still really doesn't know what she's doing, but I'm figuring it out and these things are working for me. Just a little bit of background on my son and I's whole nursing pumping journey. It has been a roller coaster. We have both had our own share of issues. He was born with a tongue tie and a lip tie, and we had to get those resolved. I had my own things like an overactive letdown and an oversupply, and it has just been so crazy, but very rewarding. Let me reassure you that through all the blood, sweat, tears, stress, it is worth it. But there are things that have really helped me to keep my sanity in the moments where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. This is so hard. Because nursing is its own struggle in some ways, just figuring it out, learning about this new person that you're just meeting and figuring out the whole dynamic, because you've probably heard it before, although nursing is just natural, it's not natural in so many ways. You have to figure it out, trial and error. And pumping is very much the same way. You kind of have to figure out what works for you. So I started pumping pretty actively when Lincoln was about a month old. I was pumping some before that just because of my oversupply, and I needed to pump at least once during the night just to kind of relieve some pressure. And that was a blessing and a curse because I was already sleep deprived, but it was good to be able to build up a stash in the freezer by having to squeeze in a couple extra pump sessions. So I did that for a while, and when Lincoln was just shy of 3 months, I went back to work. So I work part-time. I'm in the office full days 2 days a week, and then half days 3 days a week. So my schedule's kind of all over the place, so it's hard to get into a good rhythm. That's why these things have been so much more essential for me, because man, days are long and schedules are crazy, and I just need something that can fit into my day and not give me added stress. There's enough pressure to keep up with the supply that he's consuming when I'm away from him, so I don't need any more pressure to pump. All right, now let's dig into this bag. First up, a hair clip. I don't know about anybody else, but I find it extremely annoying to have hair all up in my face, all up and everywhere when I'm pumping or nursing. So I always just have a spare hair clip with me just in case my hair is down and I need to pull it back. Yeah, lifesaver. Next up, I have this cooler bag. This is a packet lunch bag, but I use this as a clutch thing in my pumping bag when I leave for work every day. So this is a bag that you can just put in the freezer so it freezes and it stays cold. And what I use this for is I put the pumped milk in here, and then I also put my pump parts in here. And this is something that it's cold already because I've stored it in the freezer, but then I can just throw it in the fridge at work and things are kind of like inconspicuous and they just kind of blend in with everything else. So it's not like, hey, here's milk and pump parts. Yeah, I save my coworkers the awkwardness of that because, yeah. But this is awesome. I got this off of Amazon, and I actually got another one for my son that I put his frozen milk in and stuff like that when I take him to his babysitters. But this is just awesome. It collapses down so it's pretty small, but then it can also expand like this and fit the pump bottles and then like the bags of milk and all the pump parts. A hack that I found is that washing pump parts at work is just annoying. So what I've found is that I can put them in here and keep them cold after I just rinse them out quickly. Then there's not the pressure to wash them every time because the milk that's in the parts is still staying cold, and I make sure to sanitize them and wash them really well once I get home. But those few times that I'm pumping when I am at work, when I just store the parts in here in between, I'm cutting down on the time that I have to spend washing the parts at work in a place that isn't as sanitary as my own kitchen sink. Next up, I have a hands-free nursing bra here. I also got this off of Amazon. It just clasps in the front and it has the little openings to stick the pump parts through. This is definitely clutch, because when you have to get up from your desk and go to your area to pump, you want to be able to use your hands to like be on your phone, or check emails, do stuff like that. So this has been a lifesaver for sure. The next thing I have in here is my actual pump. I decided to go with the Spectra 2. I don't really have anything to compare it to as far as experience goes, but I really do like this pump. I did a lot of research before I picked the pump that I wanted to get through my insurance, and I picked this one because it's a closed system, nothing's going through the little tubey things, and everything I read said this was also pretty quiet, which it is. And I really didn't want a loud pump, because the last thing I wanted when I had to pump at work was for there to be this loud machine, making it even more obvious what I was doing and making it even more awkward with my coworkers. So I really like this. I mean, I use it every day and it's held up really well, and yeah, don't really have any complaints. All right, I'm getting down to the bottom of the big pocket in my bag, and here I just have an extra power adapter. I mean, you're out of luck if you don't have a power adapter, so I just keep a spare one in there just in case I happen to forget one at home. A lot of times I keep a car adapter in my bag as well, but right now it's in my car, but I would highly recommend getting a car adapter as well. If you work full days and you have a lunch break and you happen to go away from the office, it's really convenient to be able to pump in your car, whether you're driving from point A to point B or you are just chilling in a parking lot for a little while trying to kill time and enjoy being out of the office. I've also found that if there's a morning where I'm just running behind and I haven't had a chance to pump, I can hook up the whole system and do the pump in the car on the way to work, and I'm just multitasking, which, hello, every mama needs to learn how to multitask because there's only so many hours in the day. And pumping is a pain in the butt, and the last thing you want to do is be stuck pumping, not able to do anything else. So if you can knock it out of the way while you're doing something else, then that's a win-win. Next up are these little doodads here. Now these are total lifesavers too. I think this is totally a good hack to know, is that these just screw onto the little phalange, whatever, the things that go in your boobs and pump out the milk. These just screw on, and then you clip the bag in here, and then you just pump straight into the little freezer bags instead of having to like put the milk into the bottle and then dump the bottle into the bag. This just cuts out an extra step, and again, why not save time if you can, right? Now I'll move on to the smaller pockets in my bag. I have a thing of hand sanitizer here. I pump in a bathroom, so I'm able to wash my hands, have a sink right there. But if I'm in the car, if I'm, you know, somewhere where I can't wash my hands very well, or I don't really trust the cleanliness of the bathroom and I want to use some extra hand sanitizer, I just have this in there as a backup. Here I have the Medela Quick Clean Wipes. And again, usually I just rinse my parts, throw them in the cooler bag, stick them in the fridge, and I'm good to go until I get home. But if I'm on the go, these are clutch. Next up, I have all of my trusty milk storage bags in here. I actually have a new pack that I haven't opened yet. So exciting, it's like Christmas. Cannot leave the house without these, because nothing is more devastating when you're pumping than to realize you don't have any more milk storage bags. And you're like, I just have to dump all this milk down the sink and I'm gonna cry while I do it. No, just totally kidding, kind of. Another hack is to make sure you have something like this with you at all times. What this is, it's from Lancino, and you can either stick it in the freezer so it's cold, or you can pop it in the microwave for a few seconds and it'll be warm. And you can just stick it on your boob, in your bra, with one of these thingies on it if it's hot or cold or whatever, so you're not like totally in shock. But this is great, especially for like clogged ducts. I've found that when I'm pumping a lot more frequently, I tend to get clogged ducts more easily. And then like milk blisters, those just cause a whole other situation. So I know that these have come in so handy so many times when I'm away from home and I'm away from my baby and my pump is only doing as well as it can to take all the milk out and just, you know, that whole situation. So until I can get home to baby and he can help to relieve some of those clogged ducts and situations like that, these are awesome to have. I'm getting into the smaller pockets here, so gotta have a Sharpie. Gotta be able to write the date and how many ounces you pump on those milk bags. I also have a nipple cream in here. This is the Mother Love one. I have this one in here because this is the only one I have left. When I was in the hospital, they gave me the Medela one. I got a sample of the Lancino one, and I burned through those because I feel like those are better for very severely chapped and tired nipples. But this is just a good thing to have just for any day use. Even when things are in fine shape, you just need a little bit extra down there. So I have this in here just for those special occasions. It's really awkward, but whatever. Next up, another product from Mother Love. This is the More Milk Plus. It's a herbal supplement. This has fenugreek, blessed thistle, nettle leaf, and fennel seed. I don't take these all the time, but when I do feel like my supply is kind of dwindling or I'm just having an off day or something like that, I will take these for a couple days at a time just to kind of help ramp things up again, and I think they really do help. The last thing I have in my bag is this roll of Arm & Hammer bags. These are actually for diapers, but I threw a bag of them in my pump bag because I thought it would be an easy way to transport dirty pump parts home. So at the end of the day, when I'm done and I'm not going to be throwing them back in my cooler bag anymore, I just throw them in here, and it's an easy way to transport them home without getting milk everywhere in my bag and on everything. And then I can just dump the contents in the sink when I get home, throw this bag away, and call it good. I hope I was able to share a couple good hacks with you. If you have any other tips and tricks that you want to share with me, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and let's chat, let's be friends. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I'll be sharing some hicks. Here I have the Medela Quick. Let's take a picture with my pump.